So let's talk about the spikes we're going to be using today. A lot of people ask where you get them. You can find them on the internet. There are places that will sell you old used spikes, which I like to use because they have a more rustic look to them. And then there are other places you can buy them brand new, where they are brand newly manufactured. The only thing I would say when you're looking for a spike to use, look for something that is a complete spike, that's got enough meat, and that the edges are kind of nice and crisp. If they're too rusty and too rounded over, when you go to twist the knife, you don't get a very good looking twist. You can always use a flatter and do a lot of prep work on it, but spikes are cheap. I mean, I'd rather just buy a bunch and pick the ones I like. You know, something like this, where you can tell that spike has seen better days, I would use this for something else. I would not try and make a knife out of this. Today, I'm gonna go with the old spikes, because I don't want you guys to think I'm cheating here. So I'm gonna use what most people start off with, which is a used railroad spike. I'm gonna make two today. And I'll do two to show you the difference between a full twist and a half twist. Here are a couple examples. The full twist is going to have that tighter twist to it. They both look pretty good. I like them both. I do them both all the time. And there's just a little bit of a different setup for each one. So I'll show you guys how to do that today. So this project, guys, the Railroad Spike knife, is a great introduction to knife making. It teaches you how to forge out a blade. And it goes, you know, for someone like me, I started on mild steel, as most blacksmiths do. This is a tool steel, and it lets you get the feel for how it reacts under the hammer. One thing I'll say about the Railroad Spike knife, it is not the most high performance knife in the world. These spikes, when you purchase or find your spikes, you want to look for HC on the back. The HC stands for high carbon. The high carbon is a stronger spike. Now, it's high carbon for a railroad spike, but it's not super high carbon for a knife. The railroad spike high carbon is about anywhere from 30 to 45% points of carbon, whereas most knife steels go from 60 to 90 points of carbon. So we're gonna have to work this steel a little bit differently, and we're gonna have to harden it a little bit differently. So let's get into it. Let's go into step one. Step one for these is to decide how much of this is gonna be your handle. For a guy like me who has hands on the bigger side, you look at that and you might think there's not enough there to make a blade, but we've got a sizable amount of steel here.